Hey guys, I'm Raja Gaming, and I'm your coach for the Las Vegas Corviknights. We are here for our Week 2 battle, and let's get into it. Alright, so my opponent elected to only draft 10 Pokemon using the point spreads versus the maximum of 12. So we have a few less picks. I don't anticipate him bringing Corviknight because of our Victini. We have a really good fire type, and I don't really think he's going to want to be a part of that with his Corviknight. Mew, I think we have some good answers to it. It doesn't really want to take on DRACOVISH, and it can be very good in Draft League, but I just don't see it coming. Breloom, again with our Victini being a very good check to it, I don't really anticipate it coming. And Galarian Mr. Mime, I don't see again because of our Victini. Nothing really those Pokemon don't want to take a V-Create, and a lot of them, minus Breloom, don't really want to take on DRACOVISH too well. I don't really see them coming. Alright, so these are the 6 Pokemon I do anticipate him bringing. Galarian Darmanitan is an absolute monster with its Gorilla Tactics ability. It basically has a built-in choice band, and that move is normally banned in leagues I've been in. So having it unbanned, I think this Mon can be an absolute monster. He has Cinderace with its Libero ability, which is also normally banned, but it isn't in this league, so I think he'll bring it because it can be very good. It changes its type to whatever move it uses, so it could be very good against our team, depending on what type he brings, and Cinderace has fairly good coverage with U-turn, a jump kick, its Pyro Ball does incredible damage. Zeraora is his other Mon I anticipate. Is a very fast electric type. It can hit fairly hard. It gets access to moves like Close Combat, and it has the Volt Absorb to prevent it from being touched by any other electric type moves. Clefable I anticipate coming for as a overall kind of bulky mon for DRACOVISH and some of our other threats. It has Wish Protect, can be Soft Boil, and it doesn't, like if we set up, it isn't affected by it because of its Unaware ability. Mega Pinsir, I anticipate, as his Mega is, you typically bring your Mega. So I anticipate it can be very good against some of our Mons, but it also is one-shot by our DRACOVISH, so that's something to keep in mind. And Cloyster, I anticipate Shell Smash variant, which boosts its speed, attack, and special attack by 2 stages, so that can be very threatening. Probably a Power Herb set, so it gets rid of the negative effects, or I think it's Power Herb or Mental Herb. I always get those two confused. But I anticipate Shell Smash variant could be very threatening, and with its Skill Link ability, making it so multi-hit moves always hit 5 times, can be very threatening, especially if he has like an Ice type for DRACOVISH. So yeah, that's the 6 I anticipate, and let's get into the Mons I did not bring. I didn't bring Savali again this week. I didn't think it had a great matchup. For the first time, I did not bring Amoonguss for our Week 2 match, as I didn't think it was great with him having a Ice type and a really good Ice type and a really good Fire type in Galarian Darmanitan and Cinderace. Same, I did not bring Galvantula because of his Cinderace. I thought it didn't do well under that, and I didn't want to have it be fodder in case it was like a bulk upset. Same reason for my Cobalion. Cinderace kind of went nuts, and I didn't want to give him extra opportunity to weaken my team. And I did not want to set the Hail for the Galarian Darmanitan and make his Ice type moves even more powerful, so I did not bring Vanillux. And Vanillux doesn't really do too much against this team. Galarian Darmanitan gets fire moves, as well as Cinderace having fighting moves that could be really effective against it, along with its fire stab. And Yama I didn't think was a good bring. Alright, let's get into our first Pokemon. Mega Mawile is very good, rocking its Iron Head, Sucker Punch, and Knockoff moves. It has the Intimidate ability going in, and then it has the huge power. going out. I brought Thunder Punch in case of the Corviknight. In case he brought the Corviknight, I brought Thunder Punch. I thought it would be good. Iron Head is fairly good against the majority of the team, and is particularly good against his Clefable. Sucker Punch is good just overall priority, and Knockoff hits fairly hard, being able to get rid of our opponent's items. But a pretty standard set with Adamant to hit as hard as possible. And yeah, let's get into our next mon. We have Slowbro. This is going to be our main defensive wall for the week. We brought Skull, Slack Off, Psychic, and Trick Room. So this is going to be our check to Cinderace, essentially. Skull does a fair bit of damage to it. Trick Room is there for the Mawile. We can set up Trick Room, switch out, maybe set up Trick Room on like a Clefable, and switch out into our Mawile. He won't go for Fire move, potentially, because of our Water typing, and we can be faster. I believe we're faster than Clefable. Faster and hit it super hard, and be able to hit the rest of his team very hard as well. So that could be very good. Hippowdon with the Smooth Rock setting the Sand for DRACOVISH, Earthquake, Slack Off, Stealth Rock, and Toxic. This is also helps with the defensive. He has a lot of defensive mons, and I think this is also a really good check to Cinderace, depending on what he brings. If I know Pyro Ball's coming off, I have in Slowbro's weak, or if not, this is an option to go into. Earthquake's going to do a lot to Cinderace, and yeah, I think this is a fairly good defensive mon. We have our main breaker this week, DRACOVISH, which is Choice Banded, Vicious Run, Ironhead, Psychic Fangs, and Facade. I did not appreciate getting burned last week, so I wanted to make sure this thing could still do damage even if it is burned. So I have Facade in there. Vicious Run, as always, does a tremendous amount of damage to our opponent, killing, I believe, Clefable in one hit, just a bunch of his team. Darmanitan, I believe we one-shot. Cinderace, if it's fire type, we definitely one-shot. Psychic Fangs is there just for overall, and Ironhead is there for the Clefable. Alright. Let's get into our Victini. Is Choice Scarf again. I didn't want to rely on the Sand. V-Create hits like an absolute truck. U-turn, if we do not like the matchup, we could potentially lead this. U-turn out. Bolt Strike is there for the Corviknight. And Zen Headbutt just to get overall some more stab. And potentially get flinches that move basically won us the game last week. So Zen Headbutt is very good, especially on Victini. And V-Create can just take names this week against things like Corviknight, Galarian, Darmanitan. Depending on what Cinderace goes for, we can also be very good against that with a V-Create. And yeah. Our final mon is going to be Mandibuzz, rocking its overcoat so it will not take any damage from the Sand. Foul Play, he has a lot of offensive mons like Cinderace and Darmanitan. Foul Play uses their offense of attack stat as ours, so we'll be able to hit them super hard. Roost for longevity, Whirlwind in case there are any setup sets, and Iron Defense to just be really bulky. And yeah, let's get into the battle. Alright, so my opponent brings the team I expect. I expect him to lead Cloyster. He does. I'm leading my Victini, as I can go for the V-Create or the Bolt Strike. I'll probably go for the Bolt Strike as it is good and it covers any bases. He goes straight into Cinderace, which is fine. We should do a fairly good amount of damage to him with this Bolt Strike. We do well over half, and I should outspeed because of my Scarf, so I'm going to stay in and hit this thing really hard with a Bolt Strike, potentially KOing it. We do. We knock it out, so that's a huge threat out of the way. That's crazy. That's a really big threat. He'll probably go into Zeraora. As we are Scarfed, he goes to Zeraora. I have an easy switch into my Hippowdon here. If he wants to go for Electric move. He does, let's see what he does. He goes for a Bulk Up. Okay, so that's kind of threatening. I can go for the Earthquake here. I should do a lot of damage to him. And see what he wants to go for. He can bulk up if he bulks up. He goes for a close combat. That was kind of an interesting play. Because of that, I believe I'll be able to kill him because of his neutral defense now. Yeah, I'm able to kill him. So that's 2 huge threats out of the way. So we're looking really good at the opening of this. I could see him going Cloister maybe, or Galarian Darmanitan, as both hit Hippowdon very well. He does go Cloister. I anticipate him to Shell Smash here. So I can go into my Slowbro. I should be able to take whatever he wants to do, and I can hit him with the Psychic or a Scald, as it's a physical attacker. I think Psychic's probably a better route to go for. I'm pretty sure I live any hit this thing wants to go, even if he is Skill Link, which I anticipate him being. The Sandstorm's going to slow chip it away, and we have leftovers, and it does not, so we're getting recovery. He has Rock Blast. That does virtually nothing. Unfortunately, he's going to hit 5 times, so we do end up getting half. But we should be able to easily hit it with a Psychic and do a lot of damage. Yeah, we do a lot of damage. Okay, so we're at this point, we can basically stall 2 turns. So I'm going to recover for the next 2 turns and let it get itself knocked out. That's huge that he misses that Rock Blast, because now we are guaranteed to be at least half. So I can go for Trick Room on the following turn and be in a pretty good spot, being able to switch into Mawile in Trick Room and potentially pick up the game and get a 6-0, which would be really interesting. So I'm going to just see what happens. He's going to hit 5, so we'll be roughly 50%. 56, so that's right. Now he's gonna die to hail, or not hail, sandstorm, and we have Trick Room. So I'm curious what he wants to go for in Trick Room. Maybe neither of his Pokemon, with being Pinsir or Galarian Darmanitan, want to be in Trick Room. So they're both fairly fast. Clefable's here. I can switch into my Mawile. I should be slower than it and can hit it fairly hard. He just goes for the Calm Mind. That's fine. I should be able to hit this thing really hard with an Iron Head and potentially be able to pick up the KO. Wow. Unfortunately, he has Fire Blast. I did not anticipate him having that, and being slower under Trick Room, so that was poor planning on my part. So he's able to kill my Mawile, which really sucks. I have to stall a few more turns of Trick Room, so I'm going to go into my Slowbro and hit it with Psychic. It can potentially Calm Mind in front of us, which is fine. If it does, that's good because it's not attacking. And I need to basically make sure we're not in Trick Room, because my stuff does better out of Trick Room. So for those who don't know, Trick Room, it makes it so you're basically the slowest Pokemon on the field goes first instead of the fastest. So this is a big problem, because now Clefable is pretty high up there in stats. I'm gonna probably switch into my... He has recovery as well. That's a big problem. I think I have a few options here. I can switch into my Mandibuzz to keep my Slowbro around and potentially Whirlwind him out if he wants to continue to set up, which he does. So I can Whirlwind now and be able to potentially get him out. He's faster than me, which is really odd. I'm not quite sure about the mechanics of that. So I'm going to go into my Hippowdon. He should be able to kill that, no problem. But I'll be able to set up the hail, or the sand, for Dracovish, and should be able to finish off the rest of his team with Draco. So he is unfortunately able to kill Hippowdon, but Hippowdon did what he needed to, and now the sand is up. So Dracovish can just pretty much go in. We are outspeed Clefable, so we should be able to hit it with a Vicious Wren and do an absolute truck ton of damage, which we do. Killing it, that's a huge threat out of the way. We still have a Galarian Darmanitan, which could potentially go for ice coverage. I'm not sure if it gets priority. It might get Ice Shard, which could be a bit of a problem. We are able to outspeed it even if it's scarfed, and we do kill. which is great. So DRACOVISH coming in clutch, and finally his last mon is the Mega Pinsir. So he's gonna probably Mega Evolve just to be as fast as possible, but we should have no problem killing this thing. And that will be a great 3-0. I hope you guys enjoyed this battle, and we do pick up the win. So that is going to be a 3-0. I hope you guys enjoyed the battle. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. Let me know what you think. And if you want more Pokemon content, you can come check out my Discord. Highly recommend it. Super fun place. We have riddles and questions of the day. It's really fun, and a lot of Pokemon content's featured there. And I will see you guys next time. Peace out.